How often do you open your windows? Probably every day at the moment. The UK is in the middle of another unbelievable heatwave, so most of us have the windows wide open trying to keep the house cool. Modern homes are built to be very energy efficient. They're sealed up far better than they used to be, which is great for your heating bill, not so great for fresh air. The humidity builds up, CO2 levels rise, and condensation appears. And before long, you've got mold growing around your windows because the house simply isn't breathing anymore. So what if your windows could monitor the air quality themselves, open automatically when they need to, and close again afterwards, and even lock themselves securely when you go out? And all of this without requiring a handyman or an electrician to come around and install anything. Well, today I have a product from Tarken that promises all of the above. So let's see if it can deliver. Hi, I'm James, and I've been building out my smart home for years, with products from just about every manufacturer out there, figuring out what works and what doesn't. Today we're looking at this. It's a brand new Matter over thread smart window motor from Tarken. And unlike some of the huge window motors that I've fitted in the past, this one is designed for inward opening PVC windows. It's battery powered, rechargeable over USB-C, and even includes its own solar panel. So in theory, you should almost never need to charge it. But perhaps the smartest part is it doesn't actually need to be connected to your smart home at all. Built into the unit are environmental sensors that monitor temperature, humidity, and even CO2. So if you don't use Home Assistant, Apple Home, Alexa, or any smart home ecosystem at all, it can still make intelligent decisions by itself. If the air quality gets poor, or the humidity starts getting too high, it can simply crack the window open automatically until things improve. It's trying to maintain a healthy indoor environment without you ever needing to think about it. And I think that's a genuinely clever idea. So let's have a quick look inside the box. Everything is very nicely packaged. The motor itself feels weighty and premium. Nothing in here feels cheap or flimsy. And you get everything needed for installation too. And I mean everything. Including the USB-C solar panel and charging cable, mounting hardware, clear enough instructions, and you even get a decent screwdriver in the box. First impressions are definitely strong, so let's move on to mounting it. Now, I was expecting fitting this thing to be a bit of a project, but instead it took me around 3 minutes. Seriously. You open the window to the middle position and expose the screws, however that happens on your handle. Unscrew them and hold onto them, as we'll still need them in a moment. We place the pin from the device into the old handle hole and simply screw it back into place. Then you pop the little mounting piece onto the device, remove the sticky plastic and close the window and apply some pressure and let it stick for about 15 minutes. But before you pop that cover back on, take a little picture of the Matter pairing code that's on the other side, because I completely missed that for a while. Now we take that Matter pairing code and we move on to the app and Matter connection. Before I actually fitted it, and against the advice of the instructions, I did try and get it connected to test it out on my bench, and I had mixed results. I initially missed all mention of Matter connection in the instructions, because there was one paragraph about it, and I feared that they would force us to use their app first. So I downloaded it, and I took a few stabs at connecting the device, and I eventually managed to. But nothing really seemed to work. It didn't read any of the sensor data, not even the battery level, and controlling it didn't really seem to do much. Then I spotted the Matter setup code on the back of the cover panel, and I decided to just remove it from the app and add it to Home Assistant instead, which, once I had it in pairing mode again, worked first time and exposed all the sensors and controls. Now, I've spoken to the people at Tarken and they assure me that they're working on the app experience, which is not at all important for me because I'm going to be automating it from Home Assistant. But if you want to buy one of these to handle ventilating your home using its auto mode and its internal sensors, you might want to hold off a little bit longer while they get that experience nailed down. Once I had it in Home Assistant though, it was a very simple matter of copying over the automation that I already had to manage my lounge window, with a couple of little tweaks for my boy's bedroom. Like making it close the window if their UV strips are on to charge up their glow-in-the-dark cup holders, so that all the wildlife can't take over in their room again. If you don't know what I'm talking about, check out my recent shorts videos. But in essence, this automation opens their bedroom window if we are home, the temperature, humidity, or CO2 levels are above acceptable thresholds, and then it closes when they are acceptable again, or we go out, or their UV lights are on. Power comes from an internal battery which can be recharged by USB-C. But what makes much more sense is this little USB-C solar panel. Simply stick it to the window, plug it into the motor, and assuming that the window gets decent sunlight, you probably won't ever have to think about charging it again. And for something that's designed to just quietly do its job in the background, that's exactly how it should work. Now, I've of course made a typical hash of installing it by using tape, but that's just because I'm not sure that it's going to stay on this window long term. So I don't want to use the pre-applied 3M tape just yet, because that'll be a nightmare to get off. Once it's installed, I've really loved it so far. It's noticeably smaller than previous window motors that I've used, and a hell of a lot neater. It is still visible, you're not going to forget that it's there, but it's nowhere near as industrial looking. It's also surprisingly quiet, and yeah, it's a little slower at opening and closing than the alternatives, but I'll happily take that trade-off because you can barely hear it moving, and you don't need your window to open or close particularly quickly. One thing I really appreciate is that when it closes, it properly latches and locks the window, so it is not ultimately relying on that sticky pad to hold the window shut from an intruder. That means that if you leave the house and an automation closes the window behind you, it's actually secured. And I really appreciate the fact that the motor can be easily detached from the frame mount in case you need to open your window fully. So, would I actually recommend it? The short answer, yeah, absolutely. Not because it's the most exciting smart home gadget that you might buy this year, but because it solves problems that more and more modern homes actually have. Poor ventilation, high humidity, and high CO2. Something that I don't think enough people pay attention to. And simply forgetting that you've left the windows open when you rush out the door on a hot day. The hardware feels well made, installation is unbelievably easy, and Matter over Thread works exactly as I'd hoped. And the solar panel means that it's largely maintenance free. And I was a little bit worried about how accurate the sensors would be given that they're right next to the window, and the temperature in particular probably isn't that useful, especially on a really hot day in direct sunlight, but the CO2 sensor is surprisingly accurate when I compared it against our own in the room. The app itself definitely needs some work, but if you're planning to use this with Home Assistant or another Matter platform, that is a non-issue. Overall, I think this is one of those products that quietly improves your home every single day. If you would like to pick one up, the link to the product will be in the description below and on my website as usual. And if you purchase one using my link, I may earn a small commission at no cost to you, so thanks for supporting the channel. But before I finish, just a quick reminder that members on the mid-tier or above on my YouTube, Patreon or TikTok are entered into my monthly giveaway, the first of which is happening 1 week from now. Every month I'm giving away smart home gear like smart bulbs, relays, WLED controllers, locks and other gadgets. Plus you'll get access to the members only Discord channels. So if you would like to support the channel and be in with a chance of winning something, check out the membership options on my profile or at the top of my website. If you have enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a like and subscribe, and let me know in the comments if automatic window ventilation is something that you are looking for, or are you happy enough opening and closing the windows yourself. Thanks again for watching, and as always remember, home is where the smart is.